So hey guys, welcome to the first episode of my anime reviews, currently untitled. Um, this is a practice session, basically to show you guys kind of how the reviews are gonna go. Alright, so the first anime I'm reviewing is the first anime that I intentionally watched. I have watched anime prior to that, but I did not know that they were anime. First one I watched intentionally was called Pilot Candidate. It aired on Adult Swim for a while when Adult Swim was new and had a lot of anime on it. It is a season long. It's basically about, well, there's only one planet left. Like, all the other planets have been destroyed. Zion is the name of the planet. And there's these five? I believe five. It's either five or six. Giant robots called goddesses that have to protect Zion from being killed by an enemy called Victim, strangely enough. Each of the goddesses have a spirit living inside of them. One is named Yulia, one is named Heritage. There's one for everyone, but those are the two that are named in the show. Um, so it's another giant robot anime. A lot of people may say it's like a ripoff of Gundam and a ripoff of Evangelion. And maybe it is, but I didn't watch those two shows when I watched this one, so. Alright, so anyways, to pilot this, you have to have something called EX. It's basically something in your blood. If you don't have EX, you can't pilot it. So, basically the only people that can, like, even qualify to be able to pilot it have to have EX. You can be a repairer, which repairs the damage to the robot, but you cannot pilot it without EX. Mainly pilots are male, but the lead is a female. It's rare for females to have EX, but it's possible. And most females are actually repairers. I've not seen any male repairers, but there might be some. So basically what this centers around besides that is there's an academy that trains new people to be able to pilot these goddesses for whenever people, the pilots either die or run out of EX, because you do run out of EX. Once you run out of EX, you can't pilot it anymore. You need EX. So that person would either retire or die, basically. Harsh, I know. So, it starts off with your main character, who is a very high-spirited, really happy-go-lucky, positive guy. His name's Zero. There's a lot of cliches, definitely. Like, there's the high-spirited hero, the sassy girl character, the glasses guy, the cool character who's kind of evil. There's a lot of those cliches. Plus, there's a lot of unique characters. The most unique thing about this show, though, is the names. Like, they're pretty unique. So basically, it follows Zero and his fellow classmates that are going to this pilot candidate for goddess is the name of the manga. But they're going to this academy to learn how you pilot, how to use your EX properly, all of that. And it just follows their adventures in learning it, along with also following the pilots and the side things going on. And it's really interesting so far. My several complaints with this really are just like the first thing I noticed even when I was first watching anime is the way it's scripted is really strange. Like I thought that all anime were like that at first because this was my first one. Like the way they say things is strange. Like I'll just give you a few examples. All right, one of the things that one of the pilots is saying is, "He's not the pilot. Your pilot is me," or something like that. And then there's just I'm sorry I can't think of them right now, but like the way that they phrase things is really strange. Like they don't say it in a normal way. Like they say it in a fancy, like roundabout way. Like some of the way that the dialogue is written is really strange, and that might only be in the American dubbed version because I obviously watched the dub. The only other thing that I don't like is basically it's a season long, and the manga is really short too. But they leave it off in a place that it shouldn't be left off that way. Like it doesn't. There's no ending. Like there should clearly be more to the story. It's like it didn't be as popular as what they thought it would be, and they just kind of cut it off. Like they insinuate that things happen, but they don't actually happen. Like you see in the opening that Zero gets to be the pilot of the White Goddess, but that like nothing even comes close to that happening. Like it doesn't. So like that is another complaint. It's just that like it's too short. Like even in the manga, it's too short. There's like 5 manga books and like 3 DVDs. I have them somewhere. I would show them to you right now, but I am not quite sure where they are, and I don't want to sit there and rustle around looking for something that I'm not really sure where it is. But yes, it's really short, and it shouldn't be. They don't answer some questions like how does Tila, the main white pilot of the goddess, end up being a part of Zero's life in this past? Does she die? Does he take her place? Like what about the spirits that are inside the goddesses? Like, it doesn't go into detail how they got there or why they're there. What happened in Heed's past that he's so like really dark? Like they like show parts of it, but they don't really explain it. Do some of the candidates drop out? Because there's a few that looks like they're not going to make it. Like, do they drop out? Do they continue? Like, these are questions that should really be answered, and they're not answered. So, moving on from that, another thing I like to bring up is the art style. The art style is really gorgeous, and the colors are really vibrant. Like, I loved that. Like, there's certain anime that have really good story, but if I can't get into the art style, then I can't watch them. And this one definitely has a very pretty art style. I wouldn't say it's unique, but it's definitely very pretty. And the character designs are pretty unique too. Like, they're especially like the people who pilot the goddesses, like them and their repairers, their costumes are really different than anything I've ever seen. And like I said, their names are really unique, like Riorit, Arts, Ernst, Tila, Kizuna, Heed. Like, those are really unique names that I don't hear a lot in other anime or even in other shows, period. So I just thought that was one of the things that really stood out to me. And they do make the characters pretty realistic. Like, you do like connect with them and see a lot of their emotions. Like, they develop some more than others. Like, more of the closer main characters are developed more than the other ones, but you definitely see a development. So I think that's pretty much all I have to say about this particular show. I know it's short, but it was just, like I said, it's just an example. The main points I'm going to try to cover every time that I do a review is I'm going to introduce what the anime is, I'm going to tell you what it's about, I'm going to tell you why I chose it, I'm going to tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, what the art style's like, explain some of the characters, and it's going to get a rating as well. There'll probably be, depending on what anime is what, there'll probably be other categories, but that's going to be the basics. Now, for me, I loved this anime when I was, younger, so I gave it a 10 out of a 10 for me. But, like, as a critic, as somebody who's, like, trying to recommend anime, not recommend anime, I'd give it between a 6 or a 7 out of 10. Simply because, like I said, it leaves off in a strange spot. Sometimes the dialogue is a little hard to understand. There's a lot of cliches, and to somebody who like was a really big fan of like Gundam or Evangelion, they probably won't like it. They'll think it's kind of cliched. But to me, this is the only giant robot anime I've ever seen, and it doesn't really focus a lot on the robots. It's very good in my opinion. So my opinion, 10 out of 10. As a critic, 6 or 7 out of 10. So like 6.5. So yeah, if you decide you want to watch it, it's called Pilot Candidate. The manga is called Candidate for Goddess, and I believe that some sites do like catalog it as Candidate for Goddess. I will put a link in the box below to the place you can watch it, and like the Wikipedia page describing it, so that way, since I'm not exactly 100% great at this, you guys can look at it for yourself. Alright? Well, look forward to the next review. I will be doing these once a week, and please let me know if you like it or if there's something that you'd like for me to improve upon, and I will take that into consideration. Alright, Have a great night, day, whatever. Bye.